Ricky.
Buddy.
Today is December 19th. Now let's get down to business, man. What's up, dude?
Oh, nothing, I've just been working and getting my house together little by little.
That's good. Anything happened this weekend?
Yeah, plenty of fights. We started off, with Bellator?
Oh, yeah. Bellator. I think in some ways Bellator was the better fight promotion this past weekend. I mean, they had a big title fight between Michael Chandler and Brent Primus, and Frank Mir versus Ave Alala, and a couple other ones. And they had a big fight that didn't even have on Saturday too.
Well, I would definitely disagree with you on that. UFC was way better.
You think?
100%. But, Bellator, the highlight of the night for me was, in the crowd we heard somebody yell, "You can do it!"
That was fucking funny. So what did you think about that Michael Chandler Brent Primus fight?
It was back and forth. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't too hot on it, to be honest. It was action, but it wasn't action at the same time.
What are you saying? It was two back and forth? Like, I give one, you get one, and not much excitement?
Yeah, there wasn't much drama within the match, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I can understand
Kind
that.
of felt like more of a sparring than a fight.
Do you think Michael Chandler should have won? You think that was the right decision?
Yeah.
Yeah, he dominated pretty much every round.
Yeah. There's a few times that the other Primus or Primus, whatever it is, I don't even know, to be honest. I mean, he looked good. He's just I don't really like his style for some reason. It's just awkward to me. He feels stiff.
Yeah, both of them look pretty stiff, but that's kind of Chandler's style.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he seemed more tight. If you know what I mean,
Toy.
he was crisp, but the other guy was kind of stiff, but looked like he had more of a he shouldn't have been so stiff.
Now, do you think that Chandler would survive well in the UFC?
What? Wait, is that?
That's 155. It's a stacked division in the UFC. But Chandler's the champion in Bellator.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because I mean he's well rounded in a way. I would put him against somebody.
Al?
No, hell no.
You think
I'm
Al?
starting off with way lower just to test him. You don't grant somebody that kind of
Yeah.
high profile. I don't think Mike Chandler's that good.
I mean, he's been in the game a while.
I'm just saying I've seen a lot better in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was a pretty good fight, man. I liked it.
The intensity wasn't there, is what I was trying to say.
Okay, I can see
It
that.
seemed more, like I said, almost like a sparring, but it wasn't like sparring, but it was more friendly than. It didn't seem like they had bad intentions either way.
Oh, Michael Chandler looked like he did, but he was trying to be composed.
It wasn't enough for me to where, to me, I was just like, yeah, they're just.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying. I didn't feel the same too much about it. I mean, I liked the fight a lot. I enjoyed it. I like to see that style of fighting.
Yeah.
But I do think Chandler would do well in the 155 in UFC if he ever wanted to come over. But I don't see that happening. But yeah, I think he would do well. I think I'd like to see him versus Al or him versus Kevin Lee. I think those styles would match up nice.
I got both of them probably taking them.
Really?
Yeah, they got.
I don't think
I feel like they got a meaner style,
I don't think Kevin Lee does. I think Kevin Lee. Well, we'll get into it, I'm sure. But so the co-main event of the Bellator thing was Frank Mir versus Javi Ilala. Yeah, I'm trying, guys, on the names. I'm sorry. The cool thing about one cool thing, but I thought it was really weird and almost weak that Frank Mir tapped out to strikes standing up. And I was like, man, yeah, there's a little bit of blood coming out of his nose and his mouth, but I thought Frank Mir was way tougher than that. Well, I found out a couple days later that the reason he tapped out was because he broke his mouth the top of his mouth is broken.
Yeah. I read that he was trying to pull his teeth out right there because his mouthpiece fell out, and that's how it happened.
Ugh.
And that's just that's nasty. He had his daughter in his corner and everything, and I mean, for me, I was like, oh, that's sad, man.
Well, apparently his daughter's some kind of super athlete. She's like a linebacker in the football team, and she's a big state champion wrestler. And apparently she's like some kind of a beast when it comes to athletics. I mean, because he has two sons too on top of that.
Yeah, well, if she's as big as him when she gets fully grown, she can have the heavyweight division of women's.
Yeah, by that time, it might be around.
Yeah, why not?
So that about did it for Friday, and then Saturday. I know we didn't get to see it because we don't have DAZN or anything, but looking back on the highlights of it, Lima Lay McFarland, she retained her title in the 145 women's, or sorry, 135 women's, and it was a big homecoming for her because she was in her home state of Hawaii, and I seen the place went absolutely crazy for her, which was good, and then Lyoto Machida won his fight by split decision, which is, it wasn't, I don't know.
Especially since he's probably not as monitored. You would think that he'd be able to do better.
Yeah, but he is getting in that age, man. He's getting old.
Yeah, but performance enhancements.
Yeah. Yeah.
The piss.
And then Neiman Gracie, he won. It was a good fight. King Mo got his clock cleaned and he got knocked out. And yeah, that was pretty much Saturday's fight because I know we want to get into the UFC, so I don't want to harp on Bellator too much, but they had some pretty nice fights.
Well, one thing I wanted to say about them going to Hawaii.
What?
Well, first of all, they beat UFC to Hawaii,
which is great.
And then Scott Coker, he had like tweeted or something like, "Hey, what's his name?
Max Holloway."
Yeah, hey Max Holloway, you know, if you're unhappy over there, you have a home over here.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. Max Holloway was like, "That's not true."
What?
Because he said he was unhappy.
Oh, he was saying that Max was unhappy?
Yeah, so Max Holloway had like said something like, he did a longer tweet kind of responding to everything. He's like, yeah, he's like, a lot of my teammates are fighting over in Hawaii right now at your promotion. I couldn't be happier. He's like, and so you're lying about me, and that's not okay. Like, that's pretty much how he worded it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, Max, most time people don't even respond to shit like that, but Max kind of put him in his place. He didn't give a shit.
Well, Max at that level now, man.
And he's like, bow down.
That's right. So, after that,
we were getting into the Saturday fights, fight night.
Yep, fight night.
The last time UFC was on Fox.
What do you think about that whole Fox deal? Did you like it? Did you like the UFC being on Fox, or did you like them on Spike better?
Well, I'll tell you, I guess so there's a few small things I miss about Spike, but at the same time, you really think about it, the Fox movement was better.
You think?
Yeah, they're covering more. They're giving you more information, like with the table they do, the round, whatever.
Yeah, definitely, you know, the post and pre-fight shows.
With the online, with the Fox, UFC on FX, UFC on Fox. You know what I mean? They have different channels on YouTube, and I get a lot of information, you know, on these guys from these interviews, or even seeing the analysts talking about the fights. So I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that Fox incorporated within the UFC.
Yeah, the production value was higher. I don't think they had as much creative freedom as they did on Spike, which I kind of hope they get back with ESPN. Or
they had to go in a different direction. Spike was the man's channel. You know, they could be like super like, yeah, rock and roll. Fox, they had to be a little bit more
political, correct, and
yeah. they had to be a little bit more professional.
Right.
They're
And
trying to appeal more to more people.
that's good for the sport, though.
Yeah,
I like it.
when it was in Spike, it attracted the stuff that I feel like they had creative control over. Attracted people like me.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, kick his ass, Seabass.
I haven't heard that one in a while. Yeah, but hopefully this new deal with ESPN goes well. I'm looking forward to it. Already like the direction that they're going with having Ariel Helwani have his own MMA show on ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they continue to do as well as Fox did. Who knows? We'll have to see. Hopefully that app isn't too expensive. The ESPN Plus.
I looked for it. I got ESPN, and
It's an app on the phone.
yeah, I looked for it on my phone, ESPN Plus. I couldn't find it.
I'll check. I'll look into it.
There you go. But
Shout out Eddie
but
Bravo.
what I did find was ESPN, and their app was free. So we'll see. Maybe the streaming service isn't up yet.
Maybe it's on the maybe it's an app within your cable thing. You know, you have like a YouTube app on your cable box.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an ESPN app on your cable box.
Gotta look into it.
Got to look into it.
Right.
So yeah, so let's talk about that night. First of all, one of my favorite things about Saturday night, it was early.
Yes. Yes, they got that one right.
Yeah, it was an early night, which I wake up. Well, we both wake up very early during the week for our job, and it's just sometimes it's a struggle for us to stay up that late.
And not to toot our own horn or nothing, but I think we're pretty much considered hardcore fans, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, that's the whole idea of MMA Marks, but that's for another time.
but I'm just saying, like, we're hardcore fans, so for us to be complaining about the length of time on these fights and
Or the lateness.
yeah, and how late they come on, they gotta fix that, man. They gotta fix that, and I hope
Yeah.
they fix that with ESPN. I don't mind one late night fight a month, but every week is ridiculous.
Well, if they do weekly fights, why not just have the prelims very early?
Yeah, like 5 or
And,
4 or 5.
well, hold on. If they did it last Saturday, why can't they do it every Saturday?
Right.
As long as it's not a pay per view, put it early.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into these fights, man.
You're right. So yeah, let you want to go up main event, or do you want to start kind of lower?
Start at the bottom, work our way up.
All right. So the first fight I thought of any notoriety or bring it up was the Silva versus Gordon. Or
Okay.
did you want to talk about something before
No,
that?
go right ahead.
Yeah. So was it Jaquim? Do you know how to say that?
Joaquin?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't even remember. But Silva, he and Jared Gordon, they were going back and forth.
Yeah, they were.
That shit was a banger. And then eventually he knocked him out in that third round, kind of late. And
Was this the fight where they were standing against the cage, and the guy got knocked out on his feet?
yeah.
That was a great fight. I do remember that.
Well,
fight.
I mean, it wasn't exactly a great fight. It was like one guy wanted the brawl, and the other guy just didn't have much defense. And he kept trying to take it down, and he couldn't. It was awkward, but it was cool. I wouldn't say it was like a great fight. Like it wasn't like two skilled guys really going. It definitely wasn't like a Michael Chandler versus Primus fight. Premise. But yeah, that fight was awesome.
Yeah, and Silva took the win.
Yeah, he knocked him out. And then what do you have?
I have one more, and nothing else on that fight, but the other fight in the prelims.
Okay, well,
Was the main event in the prelims.
that's my next one too.
Okay.
Good.
What the fuck were they thinking?
Zach Aldo versus Dwight Grant.
Dwight Grant won that fucking fight hands down. blindfolded and hands behind your back.
Yeah, it was very weird. The fact that Zach Otto won. Uh,
He got dominated the whole fight.
yeah, and we were watching with our friend Mike, and shout out to Mike. He was the one that mentioned. He's like, oh, that's his hometown where they're at.
Right.
And that point is, and we're like, that kind of makes sense, but I don't know. Who knows? I mean, the judges usually aren't hometown people.
No, that was a fucking travesty, and I hope
I feel like there was a lot of weird
it was some weird judging.
but the main event, I felt like that was good.
Yeah, that was right on.
The judging wasn't too bad there,
No,
but yeah, the judging was pretty trash.
it was. I hope Dwight Grant appeals that decision or can get a rematch out of that, because that was a fucking travesty. Zach Otto did not win that fight at all.
Well, if anything, I think that maybe it'd be one of them times where they kind of accept that he got a loss that he shouldn't have, and Dan is like, "Don't worry about it," type of deal.
Well, that's fine and all, but it's still on your record.
I know, but I mean, sometimes it just take your L and keep going, and it might not even pull them back much.
Yeah.
Um,
So on to the main card.
no.
Oh,
I
no.
mean, yes. It was, sorry. Sorry. I was saying no to something I was reading. So, yeah, the very first
Yeah, I was off on this one.
100%, and I was right.
Yeah, you were. You were right.
Round one sub. That's what I wrote, and I was like, what fight? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's what that fight was. I forgot to write any names down or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that round one submission, man.
He made it look easy. Very easy.
Charles Oliveira, man, he's been on a tear.
So Jim Miller versus Charles Oliveira, first round submission. Charles gets his back, chokes him out. You can't get any easier than that. That guy had a great night. Jim Miller looked. He didn't even have long enough to say that he looked off. It was like he just got dominated. His back took and choked out before he knew what happened. Before we knew what happened. I want to say
No, that was awesome.
it was a minute and 15 into the first round.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, I mean, I want to say that Jim had a bad night, but he really, I mean,
He just was outclassed.
yeah, it was just bad.
Yeah, he didn't look bad. He didn't look bad. Like, he didn't look off. I think that Charles Oliveira just completely, and he had lost to him previously, years ago.
Yeah.
And this was his rematch, and he definitely put a stamp on that one.
Oh yeah,
He
made
cleared
him
his
look
name on that.
stupid.
And then Rob Font versus Pettis. Sergio Pettis.
Shaking my damn head, man. Shaking my damn head.
That was a little awkward. I wasn't too fond of that fight.
No, it was a shitty fight. Honestly, it was a snoozer, and Pettis looks like crap.
Yeah, he looked off.
He did. He looked like total shit.
Move on because, we don't want to talk too much about that. So we got
Oh, here's your favorite fight of the night, I think.
yeah, and I called this too, that it was going to be fight of the night.
Yep.
A lot of people said, like, we're talking like, oh, who cares about this fight? I was like, are you kidding me? It's Barboza, Edson Barboza. He has one of the greatest knockouts of all time. And then he was fighting Dan the Hangman Hooker. And he's been on the rise, and he's been knocking people out and just being very dynamic. They went at it.
Yes, they did.
Oh my God.
I didn't know why Dan wanted to stand with him after 2 rounds of that.
I think at one point he must have got rocked so good that he just wanted the autopilot.
And
He
he
seems
is
slow.
tough as nails, dude. Tough as nails.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of things about this fight that was funny to me. For one, he just kept getting up, and it was crazy. And honestly, like, so the last week for T City, we talked about how much heart he has. Hooker might have beat him on heart that night.
No way, because T City got beat for 4 rounds straight. Dan Hooker got beat for 2.5. And granted, Dan Hooker took some mean ass body shots.
Yeah,
body shot after body shot after body shot. But he was not giving any offense. T City was giving offense, even though he was getting his
No, he
ass
was giving
beat.
offense. He just wasn't landing. He was definitely giving offense.
If you want to compare hearts, I mean, I gotta say T City's got a bigger heart than
I would
Dan
say
Hooker.
it's close. I'm not going to argue
Now,
about that.
I'm not taking anything to
Back-
say that Dan Hooker isn't tough,
Yeah.
because he is. And what do you think about since the word around town is that fight should have been stopped earlier?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Back to the fight, because I said it's funny things. Well, Daniel Cormier commentating, he was annoying me kind of all night. And I usually kind of like Daniel Cormier's commentating, but sometimes he annoys me. He was being way too technical with the shit that wasn't needed to be technical. He's like, oh, he needs to get off the cage because he needs to get off the cage. He's like, but he's just kind of slightly changing the wording. It's like, bro, we get it. He's stalking the guy. His back is against the cage. You don't need to have some kind of big technical explanation of it. And then, so during the fight, when Dan Hooker was looking pretty bad and taking a lot of shots, all you hear in the commentators is, "Stop the fight! The fight's over! The fight's over!" All desperate and stuff. It's like, bro, come on now. Like, stop crying into the thing. Let us just enjoy the fucking moment.
I could see where Daniel Cormier wanted that fight to be stopped, because he didn't want his buddy to get any more damage than he already was. I don't know if they're buddies or not, but he was acting like that was his best friend in there getting his ass whooped. And he was like, please make it stop. This round could be over. But
not the round, the fight.
Well, they could have stopped it the round prior, I think.
You mean the fight?
Yeah, they could have stopped the fight a round prior than what they did.
Yeah. A lot of people said that.
Now, as a corner, I mean, as a fan looking at outside in, do you think it's the corner's job to take control of that, or is that the referee's job to say he's had enough?
So, first of all, let me just touch on one thing.
Okay.
Dana White had said he refused crutches or help to the back.
This is Dan Hooker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, he was still toughing it out when the eyes really weren't on him, the cameras.
Oh, you don't. That's
Yeah.
that's 100% tough guy, cameras on or not. He didn't turn that on because of cameras.
So, he's got that mentality. He'll go past his limit
all day.
So anyway, now I feel like you got the refs or the commission or whatever you call them. You got whoever's the doctors and everybody else. They're gonna stop them before your corner probably would. The corner should stop them if they notice that the refs aren't doing their job. You understand what I'm saying? Or if they see something that the refs might not see because they know their guy better.
So you're like me. You think the corner knows their fighter. They should look out for their fighter safety more so than the referees, more so than the ref, and throw in a towel when they know that it's over.
Yeah, like, don't throw in a towel if you think your boy got rocked and knocked out because the ref's going to see a better than you. But, like, if your boy's looking off or something,
right,
the ref might not notice that because he don't train with the guy every day. He don't see like, oh, he normally don't step like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So only step in when you have to. I don't think it's like.
Do you think the corner should have thrown in the towel earlier?
I think that Dan Hooker's the type person that told his corner, or tells his training and corner that even if they were the type to stop it, he's probably like he would tell them like, don't stop this fight unless he kills me.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, I don't think that they wanted him to die or anything. I don't think that they want him to have harm, but I think that they respected his don't stop the fight mentality more than that. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I wish him a speedy recovery. I hope he gets better, and I like to see him fight again. I do. I mean, that guy won me over, and I was sleeping on this whole fight. I thought Barboza was washed up, and I thought that this fight was going to be pretty quick one, but I was wrong.
Yeah, Barboza looked great.
I don't like saying I'm wrong, man.
Well, you're not doing well with everything that we've been talking about
No, I haven't. I've been way off.
this week.
I
So
need to go back and do my research.
Al whooped that ass.
Oh yes, the main event: Kevin Lee versus Al Iaquinta.
Al Iaquinta.
Raging Al. I can't say the last name.
Because it goes together so well. Al Iaquinta came out to what, the Sopranos theme?
Yes, that was gangster as fuck.
Yeah, he came out to Sopranos. And Kevin Lee came out wearing the weird shit.
Like he was a fucking pimp.
Dancing way too much. I mean, but it literally looked like he was trying to fake the funk, where his facial expression wasn't there for like I'm living the moment, smiling, dancing like Cowboy Oliveira did the previous week.
Right. I think we spoke on that night too. Like that doesn't look genuine. It really didn't.
He didn't seem like he was genuinely happy and dancing. It looked like he was trying to do that to kind of psych himself up, like, oh, this is just another night. I'm having a night of my life.
He almost looked like he was acting.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't seem very in the moment, like you would want somebody to be. Like I said, when Cowboy Oliveira did it, he was smiling. It made us all laugh, and I was like, man, he's loving life.
Yeah.
And he did almost the exact same thing. It's just one was just more obviously genuine.
Right.
And the fight, I mean, for the most part, was all 100% Al Iaquinta whipping his ass.
No, it wasn't.
I said for the most part.
Okay.
For the most part.
When it was on the feet, yeah.
And even on the ground, it wasn't like he never really had him in true trouble. He was close to having him with the rear naked every time. He took his back quick.
Yes, he did.
But it seemed like Al almost allowed it in a way.
I guess. But with Kevin Lee, once I don't know what he was doing, what his corner was telling him to do or whatnot, but if it was working in the second round to take the man down and grab his back, I would keep doing that. I wouldn't try to stand with the man.
Well, that's what I said. I thought Al might have been kind of like baiting him in and letting him do that.
Right.
Because Al was sure that he could defend that. He probably spent a long time defending that rear naked because he sees how Kevin Lee puts.
Well, in their first fight, Kevin Lee almost choked him out with that.
Yeah, he got saved by the round.
You're right.
But what I'm saying is, and Kevin Lee has done more rear nakeds. He's quick to get the back and get the naked. You know what I mean? Get the choke.
Let's get naked.
And I'm sure that Al Iaquinta, first of all, he rolls with some of the best on the East Coast.
Oh,
or best in the world if you want to go there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
and he was probably had all kinds of people that he was defending rear nakeds from, and he probably worked on that a lot. So maybe he was thinking, hey, you know what? If he goes to take me down, I'll let him take me down. I'll make him work for it, but then eventually give it to him, and then he'll get the back, and I'll defend it. And he'll be wasting his arm strength, and he'll get very tired on trying to get that choke, but he'll never get it.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, when Kevin Lee did have his back, and I had mentioned this multiple times when we were watching, look how calm Al is. He's super calm. He didn't give a shit. He just kept his arm up to kind of not to be able to, for Kevin Lee to kind of slip in the choke.
Yeah, he was defending very well with the choke. It looked like he was just having a walk in the park. He kept his arms very high, so Kevin Lee couldn't get under the chin. He did everything right. He even broke the body triangle that Kevin Lee had on him on the correct side. He leaned over to that weak leg and pried himself out, turned into him, got out, got on his feet.
And that's another thing. He was getting that body triangle very good too.
I thought once he got that body triangle in, it was done. I really did.
At the same time, it's tiring Kevin Lee's legs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the body triangle, constantly trying to work for that choke, which it wasn't like he spent a long time doing that, but that might have worked into Al turning it up later rounds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, hey, I'll let him have the next round, or maybe not let him have it, but I'll make him tire himself out this round.
Right. Now, I just listened to Ariel's podcast today.
Okay.
And he had both Kevin Lee and Al on the podcast. Not at the same time, but separate times, whatever.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But what Al said was that he's been training with the greatest ground guys for a long time,
Yeah.
and when Kevin Lee got on him, it was like a walk in the park. Granted, Kevin Lee is one of the strongest guys he's ever faced, he said, but he didn't take him out of his element. He said he kept calling me the same old Al, but it was the same old Kevin that I was feeling. It wasn't. He didn't do anything new but stand southpaw. He said that's the only thing he did new.
And that says a lot about Al.
Yeah.
So basically, and I seen that like Al was saying this, and I heard Matt Sarah say it on his show, but a lot of people are saying, I feel like I heard Ray Lago also say this, but it's like the common theme is, oh well, Al exposed Khabib, and then when other people fought Al, the common theme is, oh, they had an off night, or oh, they had an off night, but
right.
Al's just, they're saying that Al's not getting credit for what he's doing.
Right. I think Al is one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC, period.
Well, he's also a fucking weirdo about things sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's doing it, some of the stuff he's doing to himself.
But so is Tony Ferguson. He's a fucking weirdo, too.
Not as bad, though. Like, post-fight, Tony Ferguson will call out, like, fuck you, McNuggets. You know, he'll just go nuts. But Al Iaquinta, who like, yeah, fuck you guys, you know, and, oh, yeah, check out my realtor business. Like, what? Why are you plugging this right now? Call out somebody or, you know, tell everybody how happy you are you got the knockout or whatever it was, you know?
Right.
And, you know.
But
he's good.
Yeah.
Like I say, he's just kind of a weirdo sometimes.
Yeah. I think, and what I think also, I think Kevin Lee needs to work on more than anything. What he was trying to say was that when he was on Ariel's show, that he was saying that he only watched the first round of the fight back yet, and he shut it off. He said there's some things that he needs to work on, and he's going to get back in there. And Al brought his game, but he didn't bring anything really new. He just got really good defense, and he had a little bit more cardio. What that told me was that Kevin needs to go ahead and work on his mind.
He's got the Joanna thing going on where
he's got a little delusion going on.
Yeah.
But I think somebody needs to sit him down and be like, look, man, you really need to figure out why you want to fight and what your motivation is to do this. Because I think that's what he lacks. I think he lacks the mental toughness of the game, because he's got all the physical tools. He's got everything down, but I think he needs to check his motivation and figure out what he really wants.
Yeah, because he definitely hasn't beaten many people.
No, not at all.
Or, you know, the higher names that he's come across, he didn't do too well.
Right, he didn't destroy these people, but yeah, I think he just got a really good hype, and he wanted to ride that out.
And I think, well, Khabib. So, just to give my overall, before I get into something else, Al was very dominant. His head movement was out of this world.
He was slipping and ripping, son. I loved it.
Kevin Lee couldn't touch him, and Al constantly moved forward. Kevin Lee was constantly backing up. I think he played his game plan very, very, very well, and he was trying to finish it even at the last round. And he had screamed in his face when the bell went off. He said, "Same Al."
Oh,
you know, after he whipped his ass. And for some reason, Kevin Lee said that he thought, well, actually, when they tried to talk to him, he goes, "I'm just kind of speechless. I just first time I don't have anything to say." That's because Al fucking shut you up. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you think that was an act too, that he really believed that he won that fight? Because when they called out the decision for Al, he looked so surprised of that result.
Well, I mean, you get your belt wrong and stuff. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't realize.
I guess
he was getting hit in the face, dude.
I mean, yeah, he definitely lost those last two rounds handedly.
It's very possible in the moment he thought he won. Like, I mean, I don't think anybody watching would have thought he won, but I believe he might have believed he won.
I mean, I gave him the first round, and maybe
No,
the
I
second.
didn't give him the first round at all.
You didn't give him the first round?
No, I gave him rounds 2 and 3
Because of the takedown?
because I didn't give him rounds 2 and 3. I was thinking the judge gave him two and 3.
Okay.
That's how I do my. Oh yeah, the judges probably gave the round to him.
Right.
But really, I think that even Al Iaquinta, even when he was in trouble, it was actually playing into his own game plan.
I don't believe that he was playing into his game plan. I don't think he wanted to be on his back at all. I think he was well prepared for that situation, but I don't think he wanted to be there.
Like I said, I think it played into it.
Okay.
Tired him out for Al turning up in the last rounds.
Right.
He even said something like that in a pre-fight interview.
So
He's like, maybe I'll be extra in the last couple rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely turns it on in the later rounds.
Yeah.
He did the same thing with Khabib and here with Kevin Lee. So where do you see Al going from here? Where do you want to see him, I should say?
Well, he's campaigning for the fight. Well, actually, after the fight, he wanted Khabib. He said he wanted Khabib.
See.
But now they're saying, Al and his team are saying they want Conor.
Right.
Because it makes more sense, and Khabib probably is going to be fighting Tony.
And that's more logical. That's probably the way it's going to go out.
It's also a possibility that Conor and Khabib might be out for a while.
I don't see that happening.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier's in the mix. He might. There's a possibility to fight him.
I don't know why. I'm not knocking on Dustin at all, but I don't. He's not like attractive in
He's not attractive to you?
No, he's not. He's not attractive to me. He's not somebody that I'm like, oh man, I gotta see that guy fight. Even when he fought Eddie Alvarez, I wasn't like, oh great.
And I was pretty excited about that.
You were.
I like him, dude. He's got. It's not like super dynamic, but he's got dynamic striking, and it's like it's his own style. He's got a unique style, and I like it. And
but do you really want to see him and Conor go again?
No, I'm talking about Dustin and
Al.
Al.
You think Dustin and Al are gonna fight? If
Well,
Conor
that's a possibility, and also you know who called out Al Iaquinta that night on Twitter?
Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, raging bitch. But Justin Gaethje, man, he's somebody I'm not. He's awesome. He's exciting, but at the same time, it's like I'm not excited for him to fight the top guys. Give him somebody a little lower. He's been having trouble with these guys.
Yeah.
He's got intense, but he's not at that level, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's right. He needs to clean it up a little bit with his striking, Justin Gaethje, and then he'll be ready for that top tier. But he's not ready yet.
Give Gaethje. Yeah, exactly. Gaethje needs somebody before he fights anybody of those top
I
mix.
say one more fight, and if he destroys that opponent, then you put him in that top tier. But not yet. He's not ready yet.
But
give him Kevin Lee.
Kevin Lee's probably gonna be out for a while.
Yeah, but did you see his eyes? Oh my God!
If he wants to,
his eyes were still swollen.
If he wants to fix that attitude, he'll be out for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, because what I wanted to mention was Khabib it seemed to be genuinely trying to give him a little encouragement.
Give who?
Kevin Lee.
So Khabib's trying to give Kevin Lee encouragement.
Try to be like nice in a time of defeat. Somebody might send you encouraging words or inspirational words.
Oh, this was on social media.
Yeah, and he said like I forget the first thing he said, but it's something about. It says something about like stay humble. Humble is key.
Oh well, that's not in Kevin Lee's vocabulary.
Well, that's what Khabib said to him.
Right.
Be humble. Because he keeps saying how much he can beat Khabib. But I think Khabib was genuinely just trying to be nice to Kevin Lee. I don't think that he was trying to mock him.
No, I don't think. Khabib's not that way.
Nah, Khabib does get that way sometimes.
On who?
Conor.
No.
Hey, what's that make me then? My bitch. I don't think that was real. But anyway,
Okay. Connor took it to another level, and he provoked the bear. Or the eagle, I should
either
say.
way,
He provoked the eagle.
Kevin Lee's response.
What did he say?
He went on a rant saying he beat the system, beat racism, beat this, beat that. And so then Al responded to him. And then, they had a back and forth. Al so they're talking about there might even be another rematch. But it don't even make sense.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah. You done beat the man twice. Move on.
I forget who said it, but he was like, somebody said bird bitch about the other one or something. And then Al, yeah, so I think that might have been Kevin Lee calling him a bird. Called him a bird bitch.
I don't know.
And then Al was saying something about like Kevin Lee didn't even do one offensive move or something. And he's like, I don't know what he said. He was basically just saying he didn't do well.
So this is Al telling Kevin he didn't do well at all?
Well, yeah, he's like basically saying like, yeah, and he's like, I made you my bitch. Or no, I was your daddy for 5 rounds or something like that.
Yes, I did hear him say that. He said
something like that.
He said that Al did say to Ariel that.
Well, no, I think he actually wrote it
rounds.
too, or put it on the social media.
Oh, so he was regurgitating
one or the other.
Yeah,
he probably thought it was a good line.
It was a good line.
You know what I mean? So
it made me laugh when I heard it. Yeah. So you want to see Al fight Dustin or Connor?
Dustin or Connor for Al?
Yeah.
Who would I rather, or what?
Yeah, who would you rather, Dustin or Connor?
Connor.
Yeah, me too.
Since Cowboy's not fighting, I would have rather Cowboy and Connor.
You'd rather Cowboy and Connor versus Al and Connor?
Yeah. I think it's more interesting.
I do too. But which one's the safer fight for Connor?
100% Cowboy.
Cowboy?
100%.
100%. I don't think so.
Safer fight?
Yeah, the safer fight. I think the safer fight would be Al.
How? Did you see what Khabib just did? You don't think that Al will do that?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, I don't. I don't see that happening because
Al will threaten that takedown.
Yeah, if it's just physical, all day Al. But Connor will get in Al's head, and Al is very easily got into.
I don't think so. I think he's tougher than you think.
No, I'm not saying that he's not tough. What I'm saying is that Connor can manipulate Al better than he could manipulate Donald Cerrone. I think Donald.
No. Donald Cerrone. Do you remember him versus Nate Diaz? Nate got into his fucking head and had record-breaking performance.
Okay.
Cerrone's a head case, and Al's a fucking psychopath. So you can't get into the head. He don't even have real emotions. He just has rage.
Psychopath.
I mean, he likes it. I think that Al would shrug off anything he says and would say, Connor, you're a bitch. You know, like, I'm gonna be your daddy for fucking 5 rounds, bro.
Well, so far I've been highly wrong this past couple weeks, so maybe it's something to it.
All right, so let's move on. I saw something that was pretty interesting today.
Okay, let me see this big news that you got to tell me.
I was gonna tell him before the podcast, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it fresh for your mind.
First time hearing this, guys. Let me hear.
I hope I didn't already send this to you earlier today or something.
Okay, what you got?
So there's a new podcast starting in January 2019.
I did not hear this.
Okay. You want to hear the co-hosts for it?
Yeah.
Dan Hardy.
Yeah.
And Mark Goddard.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep. And
you're tuning in every fucking week for that one.
So they made a post. I think it was Mark Goddard, and he was asking people for name suggestions for the podcast. Oh my god, the things I wanted
Dick
to send
in the Mohawk.
Yeah, the things I wanted to send in, but I didn't even respond.
Troll the fuck out of that guy, dude. You, as much as you call him out and hate him, oh my god, you hate Mark Goddard with a fucking passion.
I don't hate the guy. Well, yes, I do. Let's be honest here. I don't. There's something about that guy I really don't like. It feels like everything. That guy just gives me that bad vibe. Like, I just don't like the way he carries himself. Or nothing, man. It's just like I feel like if I seen him in real life and he acted like that around me, I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, bro? Like I don't get it. He's got a weird way about him.
Yeah, Yeah. So.
But I'm wrong. I mean, obviously,
Oh, I want you trolling him.
no, but I'm saying I feel like I have to hold back when it comes to Mark Goddard because I feel like a lot of people feel the exact opposite about Mark Goddard than I do.
He is the most respected ref in the game right now.
Seriously, I feel like a lot of people say that.
I've heard it. I've heard it a lot. I mean,
I don't like. He acts like a dickhead, man.
he is a dickhead in the ring, but
Well, even outside the ring, like some of his the way he talks and stuff. If he gets interviewed,
right.
but hey, I'm gonna listen. Maybe he'll change my mind. Honestly.
I hope you troll the fuck out of him.
So the one I seen because I seen it on somebody shared it originally on one of the Facebook groups I'm in,
Yeah.
and I was looking at the comments and somebody was like, "Yeah, the best name I've seen so far was the best God Dan podcast." So like Goddard and Dan.
Yeah.
So the best God Dan podcast.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of clever.
Yeah, that was a little play on words. Clever. I like that.
But yeah,
Yeah. Fuck him, and I hope.
I like Dan Hardy though.
Yeah, Dan Hardy's all right.
I know. I feel like a lot of people I know don't like Dan Hardy. like, like I'm always the opposite of people when it comes to these things.
Right. So what other news you got for us?
So what do we got? We got your boy.
Oh, okay. So my boy Jose Aldo versus Renato Moicano. Moicano on February 2nd in Brazil. That's gonna be a crazy fight for Jose because Jose's like king of Brazil right now.
And Renato, whatever it is.
Renato. He's from Brazil too.
He's from Brazil. He's been tearing up a lot of people in that weight division. He's looking like a good fight for Jose Aldo.
Oh yeah, yeah. And now if Jose wins, who do you want? Who would you like to see Jose fight if he wins?
Whoever wins that fight's probably gonna get the title shot.
Can't say that
Why?
because who's right on who the hell's a number one contender for that fight right now?
Who?
Yeah, I don't know. It ain't Jeremy Stevens, that's for damn sure.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look into it a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, we did. We talked about this before. Might have been on another podcast too. But whoever wins that fight, maybe they fight Yair.
Oh, that would be nice.
You know, because Yair just beat Korean Zombie, and then also depending on how quick Frankie Edgar recovers, he's in that mix.
Oh, that's right. That's what we were talking about because Frankie Edgar
was supposed to fight Zombie.
Was supposed to fight
Korean Zombie.
The title shot, and then he fought Ortega. Ortega beat him, and then Ortega took his spot for the title shot, and then Frankie Edgar was going to fight Zombie at that point, and that didn't happen. But I don't want to. If Jose wins, I don't want to see him fight Frankie again.
You mean Frankie?
If Jose Aldo wins, I don't want to see Jose and Frankie fight again. I want to see Jose and Yair fight, even though that's a very horrible matchup for Jose. I want to see that fight.
I don't think it'd be a horrible matchup. I think Yair is dynamic and everything, but he also has holes where.
Yeah, but Jose is not very good when it comes to unorthodox striking, and Yair excels in that.
We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. I wish the best.
I've been batting 100, so
yeah.
I got out over beating Yair.
Another upcoming fight, your boy Cain Velasquez and Francis Ngannou. What do you think about that?
Well, we gotta see if Cain's gonna show up.
I mean, he's been what, a 3-year layoff?
It's Cain's fight to lose. You know what I mean? Like, he should be winning this. Everybody thinks he should win this.
Yeah, I think he should win this too. But if he doesn't, does that put Francis up there for a title shot? I think so. If you beat somebody like Cain fucking Velasquez, 3 years off or not, come on, man. You got to put him in the top top
Well,
3, top 4.
for one, Stipe hasn't fought for the title.
Right.
Supposedly he got promised a rematch if Brock doesn't show.
And I doubt he will. But,
He might.
he might. I don't really want to see it anymore, honestly. I mean, with Brock Lesnar's testing getting mysteriously mixed up or tossed out or fucked up or whatever, it just puts a sour taste in my mouth. They already bent the rules once for Brock Lesnar when he fought Mark Hunt. I don't want to see them bend the rules for this guy again, man. If he can't play ball right, then don't play at all. Stay in wrestling and move on.
They're all on steroids.
Everybody's on steroids. But if Kane wins, if Kane comes in and just, y'all must have forgot and beat the shit out of Francis Ngannou, I want to see Kane versus Stipe. That's what I want to see. That's the fight for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of fights that could happen. Yeah. To me, the heavyweight division is not that exciting at the moment. It's kind of like everybody's waiting on Brock.
Fuck Brock.
What do you have any more fights? Because one fight I'm thinking of, Zabit and Jeremy Stevens. Got announced.
Yeah, Zabit's gonna beat his ass.
I don't think so.
Really?
100%. I don't think so.
I think he's
Kyle
gonna...
Bochniak. The way he did was Zabit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jeremy Stevens is gonna do even worse.
Okay.
I
think Zabit's gonna trip him and take him down and ground and pound him. That's what I think's gonna happen.
I think Jeremy Stevens is gonna be able to get up.
Okay, we'll see. Well, that's a fight to look out for. I'd like to talk about that more when we get some definites on it.
Yeah.
And we'll look at the stats and everything. We got some upcoming fights coming up soon, but some other news. Dominic Cruz is hurt, and it's a shoulder injury.
Yeah, he said that it's basically like tearing your ACL in your shoulder.
Right.
And he's probably gonna be out for a year.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he did say something else too. That was, I guess if I was in his position, I'd probably say similar things. But he was saying that he's the best bantamweight in the division, always has and always will be, and he'll be the best because of his injuries, not
despite
for them. Yeah, not despite them.
Yeah, I've read the same quote.
I'm like, my first reaction was like, get the fuck out of here, dude. You're not the best in the division anyway. I mean, Cody just waxed that ass on you, and I think TJ's a better fighter anyway. And then you gotta stay healthy long enough to fucking fight to be considered the best.
He's like the pioneer of that division, though.
Oh, granted, when he was in there, when they were doing the transition from the WEC into the UFC, oh, he was top of the division. He was awesome. But now, he's too injury prone, way too injury prone.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's gonna benefit us because as good as his fighting is and fighting IQ in the ring, the way he analyzes fights and his commentary,
no one's better.
I like him a lot. Yeah.
He's a little smug at times, but nobody's better analyzing a fight better than him. I think he's better than Daniel Cormier. I think he's better than Bisping. I think he's better than Paul Felder. Even Joe Rogan. I think he's better than them analyzing fights.
I agree, but not better overall.
No, he's still
because the way he talks is kind of like
robotic,
too soft spoken, monotone. Sometimes it's like, dude, who's talking? Like you know who it is, but you know what I mean. Like you're like you're really kind of boring us with your tone.
Right. He needs to have some more energy. Something needs to be different. But the way he breaks down a fight, I haven't seen anybody better, ever.
Yeah.
So the next thing is, how do you feel about UFC canceling 233 in Anaheim? I mean, they just straight out said, "Fuck it, we're out."
Yeah, I mean, I've said this to everybody that says something like anybody. I've had a few people talk to me about this. Every time I'm like, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, you yourself said, it's, and I think we did go over this on the last
Yeah,
podcast.
we went over it a little bit.
You said, hey, it's crazy because this is the last time they canceled one was actually in Anaheim also.
Yeah, that's the big significant thing to me, and the fact that they don't want to put on a shitty show because this is the one where they're going head to head with Bellator in the same city, basically. Because Bellator's at the Forum, they're in Anaheim. It's only like maybe 30 miles apart.
And Scott Coker is it Croker or Coker?
Coker.
That's all that. He's mocking Dana and UFC.
Oh yeah.
Over this, he's like,
Oh,
hey,
he's lecking it up. He's loving it.
You guys couldn't beat me, so you let me have that night.
Right. And I mean, if I was him, I'd be doing the same thing.
And it's true though.
That is true.
I mean, facts are facts.
Yeah.
They were like, we don't have a strong enough card. Fuck it.
Right. And I think that's a smart play here. I mean, I don't like the fact that they're canceling the whole damn card, but I mean, it is the smarter play.
They could have used anybody.
Yeah, but if you're gonna go up against your competition head to head like that, and you gotta fight out Michael MVP versus Paul Daly that night, and what is it, Bader versus Fedor that night too. They're not gonna beat that. I'm gonna watch Bellator over a shitty UFC card for that.
Yeah,
thing.
I see your point.
So the other thing is, I know we talked about it on the last podcast, but the stupid welterweight division. Can you believe this shit? Colby is not going to get his shot against Tyron.
That's official now.
It hasn't been official, but all sources are saying that to be the case. So what do you think about that? If that is true, I mean, it's just speculation right now, but it's coming closer to fact.
It feels a lot like a WWE storyline.
Yeah.
And Colby's involved, so it could be.
Yeah.
He might have even told Dana, hey, strip me of the interim title and let somebody else have Tyron before me. I mean, he might not be the brains behind all this. Who knows? But I'm just saying it's very possible that this is all a work.
Yeah, it could be, but so again, he was on Ariel's show today too, or Monday, and he was saying that nobody has told him that he is not the interim champion ever, as far as he knows that he has the next shot at Tyron, but nobody's contacted him, and the fact that Usman has a bout agreement with Tyron, well, that's more towards the dance than Colby's gotten in the last couple months.
How legit do we know that bout agreement is?
Oh, you don't. I mean, you don't know how legit
it's a very convenient. I mean, I could fake that.
Right.
And UFC didn't release it. Usman did.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Colby and his team reached out to UFC and never got a response back from them. That's what he said on the show. I wish I could question him, but I can't. But I was thinking about this, and you know how much this is my thought on it.
Mm-hmm.
If they're really gonna jump Colby for Usman,
yeah,
my thought is that Dana White hates Tyron Woodley so fucking bad that he doesn't want to make Tyron a big draw. And that Tyron Colby fight is going to draw a lot of people. I mean, it just is, because you want to see Colby get his ass beat. And that's going to make Tyron some money. I don't think Dana wants that. And I think Dana wants Tyron to lose his belt as quickly as possible. And the guy to give him the most trouble, I don't think will be Colby. I think it will be Usman. Usman's going to give him more of a trouble than Colby, even though they're the same style. I think Usman's more aggressive and more
technical.
Yeah.
I think Colby is actually aggressive too. He's just less technical about his aggressiveness.
He's got a pace on him that that is just crazy. Colby does.
Yeah, it's an
Colby's got a
aggressive pace.
crazy pace, but I don't see that that killer
The intensity.
Yeah, I don't see the
Exactly.
intensity. So, what do you think? Any thoughts on it?
Maybe they're saving Colby for the 165. Could he make that?
Oh yeah, he can make that easy.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe.
Maybe they don't want Colby to lose, and they think Tyron's going to beat him.
Oh yeah, I think they think Tyron's going to beat him because if they didn't, they'd already made that fight.
I seen a quote or something that, and I don't know if I already talked about this, but as much shit as he talks and how corny it is, he had said, I'm the most interesting thing, the welterweight has. Everybody wants to fight me, not Tyron, which is the truth.
Unfortunately, it is.
He ain't lying.
People want to punch that dude in the face.
I think he's pretty good.
I don't think he's great. I don't think he's like something to.
He has better shit talking than James Vick.
Yeah, that's because that's saying a whole lot. Nah, but
So you want to get into the fights coming up?
Sure. Let's get into the fights.
So this weekend we have a free weekend.
Yeah.
Convenient because we also have a ugly sweater party we're going to.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Haven't been out in a long time.
I didn't really go out and buy a sweater or anything.
I did.
I own lots of sweatshirts, and I think what I'm gonna do is get a mirror and then like tape it to a sweatshirt. Say that's the ugliest fucking sweater you ever seen.
Yes. that will beat mine.
Well, I'm clever.
Yeah.
I steal a lot of things from the internet.
So we have a free weekend, but the following weekend it's the John Jones versus Alexander Gustafsson, and Cyborg versus Amanda Nunes.
Nunes, whatever. I've heard other people say your way more often, but I think the official way is Nunes.
Oh, well, I didn't see any Z's in there. But what do you think about this fight? Who you got winning? You want to make predictions now, or do you want to wait till next week?
Might as well make predictions now.
Okay. Give them out. Let's write them down. Here we go. Come on. Who you got? All
right, so I got Jones winning.
You got Jones winning. Okay.
He gonna knock him out.
Yeah, I got the same thing.
He gonna knock him out in the early third. Early third.
Okay, I'm saying it's gonna be a decision. I'm saying all five rounds.
He gonna get a decision win over Alex.
Yes.
Yeah, and what I've reminded you guys of on a few podcasts, because this fight's been building up for a while now.
2 years.
But people don't realize that John Jones has fought more recently than Alexander Gustafsson. Due to injuries and stuff, he's fought more recently.
Right.
Because people are like, oh my God, John Jones has been out for a while. So is Alex.
Right.
Alex has been out longer.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's got ring rust, maybe he does.
Well, we'll see.
Cyborg versus Amanda Nunes.
Oh, that's a fucking easy one.
For you, me and you've discussed this before.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We're on opposite sides.
Okay.
I got Amanda Nunes winning.
Okay. How? How'd you get him winning? You don't. She's gonna lose.
See, I
got Cyborg knocking her ass out.
I can see a decision
in the first round.
I can see a decision, but I want to see a stoppage, but I don't know if she can. I'll go with a stoppage late in the third.
Late in the third?
Not like TKO.
Okay, third. TKO. Okay.
Is that a 5-round fight?
Yeah.
Never mind.
The title.
Never mind. Okay, so okay. I like that.
What you got? I mean,
midway through the fifth round.
The fifth round?
Midway through the fifth round.
Okay.
Knockout or TKO.
Okay, so last round TKO.
Yeah.
All right. So those are the two big fights on that card. Now you want to get into the more lower rankings. We got Carlos Condit versus Michael Chiesa.
That's a cool fight.
I like that fight.
What weight is that at?
That is, I believe, at
170?
welterweight. I think it's welterweight. Let me
Yeah,
double
well, I
check.
already know Mike Chiesa, last time he fought, said, I felt like I was dying cutting weight for 155. I'll never do that again. I think both of these guys are very, very good candidates to be at the 165 division. Because I feel like if
Yes, it's at welterweight.
you know what I mean, they could make the 165 very easily.
They could. This is why they need to make. You know what? They need to make that damn. I want to see that first of the year, 165. But whatever.
All that teasing stuff. Did you see what Bisbing said on his podcast?
No, I didn't. I didn't listen to his.
He was saying that they're making a new. He believes they're making a new belt, not that there's a new division,
Like a whole
a new style of belt.
Right.
And then they slowed it down on the one YouTube I was watching. You get to see that there's a Canadian flag on the one, and it would have, so the new belt would have a flag of everybody that's held the title before. Like if somebody from USA, they'll have a USA belt. I mean a USA little. It's like a little pin.
Right. So it's kind of like the plates they do in WWE with their titles. So whoever holds the title has its own commemorative plate.
Yeah, I didn't know they did that.
Oh yeah. It's a big thing. You can buy the plates and everything, put them on your belts. Yeah, that sounds cool.
I'm not too excited about it. Big deal.
Yeah.
If that's what it is that they're teasing at.
No, it better be a 165
Well,
pound
even
division.
John Jones had tweeted like, "Is that what I think it is?" And then they were talking about, "Yeah, you're gonna be the champion." So they're talking about a new belt.
Right. So, who do you got out of Condit and Chiesa? Because they got similar styles, similar
Not
builds.
exactly. I would say Condit's more of a striker than Chiesa is.
Okay.
Chiesa is not even really a striker at all. He's got like an awkward style.
Yeah.
It's hard to go against Chiesa because I like him and he's a really great wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say Condit is going to win a decision. He's going to be able to keep him
I'm gonna
and
say
outstrike him.
I'm gonna say Condit also, but second round TKO. Because I think Condit's got the better hands.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's going to outstrike him for the decision, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, looking forward to that. And next we have
Latifi.
Yeah, Latifi.
Alir or something, but it's
Alir too.
Latifi. Everybody calls him Latifi.
Yeah. Latifi versus Corey Anderson. Now Latifi is 14-5, and Corey Anderson is 11-4. I don't know too much about either guy. I know Latifi hits pretty hard. Other than that, I don't know nothing about Corey Anderson.
Both of those guys recently were in talks about fighting Cormier for the title
Okay.
before, Cormier moved up. Corey Anderson is kind of fights like DC in a way.
Mm-hmm.
He's decent striking, good wrestling. Latifi, he's. You don't remember seeing any of Latifi's fights?
I do. I like I said, I remember him hitting very hard.
Yeah, he's just not very well known, you
Right.
know. And neither is Corey Anderson. They're not like flashy guys.
Right, they're on the up and coming. That's fine.
Well-
That's why they're at the bottom of this card.
Well, Latifi and Alex Gustafsson are they from Sweden? I think so, right?
Yeah, Gustafsson's from Sweden or Switzerland. Sorry.
I don't know the difference. Whatever country they're from.
Yeah,
I only know
they're neutral.
I only know United States. Okay, guys, sorry, but they're from one of those countries over there.
Rednecks
And they said-
coming out.
They said whatever takeover. We'll say Swedish just because I don't know and I like Swedish fish. Swedish takeover,
Okay, so
and then what's his name? Jones. John Jones had said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about with this takeover. I'm from America, boy. We don't take that shit.
you talking about Corey Anderson or John Jones?
John Jones said that shit because
Okay.
it was Alex saying that him and his boy Latifi's gonna take over,
Right.
and he's like, you said the wrong thing. You done fucked up because you getting fucked up now. Like John Jones is like, I'm taking care of my country.
Oh yeah, he takes
So
care of his
it's kind
country.
of like the Hulk Hogan versus the one of the old guys from back in the day.
Yeah, Nikita Koloff.
We got America versus the foreign guy now.
There we go. So who do you got in Latifi versus Anderson?
Corey Anderson
You got
decision.
Corey Anderson?
Decision.
Okay.
Rest. I think he might be able to keep control.
I'm gonna say Latifi second round knockout. I'm hoping puncher's chance. I don't know much about the guys.
Well, no, I think Latifi's got good ground, but I just think that Corey Anderson's gonna be more.
Corey Anderson looks to be the longer fighter, like reach, height, and kind of like lanky fighter. Latifi's pretty much stocky, very very strong.
I just got Corey Anderson coming out with more hunger.
Yeah. So a couple other fights on here. You got Chad Mendez versus what is his name? Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, and it's a hard matchup for both guys, really. You talk about.
It's a pick 'em.
I like the way Chad Mendez looked in his last couple fights.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Chad Mendez. TKO.
I'm gonna say decision victory, Volkanovski. And now this is saying that both of them are 18. Both of them have 18 wins on their record. And Mendez has 4 losses, and Volkanovski has 1 loss. I'm going to say Volkanovski wins by decision.
So hold on, the prelims are on FS1? Isn't that technically still Fox?
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, I mean, it ain't the first of the year, but I mean, it's FS1, it's not Fox.
Right.
So I guess that's why, they said it was that last Fox one. So they might do like a weird send-away thing on FS1 also.
Cool.
Walt Harris versus Andre Orlovsky.
Orlovsky, I cannot count that man out. Even though he's in twilight of his career, that guy brings it every single time. I want to see him win. I'll be rooting for him.
Walt Harris has that
third round knockout.
Walt Harris has that that vibe about him where he's just like he looks slow and sluggish at first, but I think he's gonna take it and he's gonna win the decision. He looks that way, his appearance, but he's not that way. Is what I was trying to say.
Right. Okay, so one of my favorite female fighters, Kat Zingano versus Megan Anderson.
Well, she pronounces it Megan.
Megan, excuse me.
From where she's from.
Looks like fucking Megan.
She is a big girl.
She's a huge bitch. Let's be honest.
She's not fat. She's big. She's
like what, 6'2"?
Yeah, and she's got the broad shoulders, for her size.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Megan Anderson decision.
Megan Anderson decision. Okay, I cannot go against Kat. I want Kat to win. I'm saying Kat decision. Okay. The Prodigy is on this fight card.
Oh yeah, and it's he's fighting Ryan Hall.
Yeah, man.
So the Prodigy is
BJ Penn.
BJ Penn, and he's definitely a pioneer of the game. He's a Hawaiian guy, and he's done a lot in the UFC.
Let's look at his fight record real quick. Hold on.
Sometimes, but not really these days. But back in the day, he used to be in the whole debate of GOAT status.
Yeah, he definitely revolutionized.
He's definitely one of the greatest.
Lightweight division, I would say. Now his record is 16-12-2.
Who?
BJ Penn is 16-12-2.
He has 2 draws.
Yeah, two no contests.
Oh, 2 no contests.
Yeah.
So.
And then Ryan Hall is 6-1.
Ryan Hall is a jiu-jitsu practitioner, pretty much through and through. He's not much of an actual stand-up fighter at all.
This is right up BJ's alley. I think BJ's going to try and box him.
Well, also BJ Penn was saying he's looking to fight a jiu-jitsu guy. Mm-hmm. He wants to. So they're even talking. I can't remember who said it, but they were talking about how this might be just straight up jiu-jitsu match between the 2 of them.
Oh, if that's the case,
he might fight into Ryan's game.
Yeah. So I hear by your tone that you want to take Ryan Hall. I'm taking BJ, taking Penn decision all the way.
Ryan Hall, first round submission.
Wow.
I like BJ Penn, but I feel like he's going to try and bite off more than he can chew.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got tonight. What you got? You got anything else?
Not really. Kind of let you guys know that we were already gonna try and do it. Maybe do 2 smaller episodes a week.
Yeah.
If you guys have any feedback on what you would rather, 1 long episode or 2 episodes, that'd be cool. But we're going to try it for next week. Might even get one in on this weekend. It just didn't work out. Got a little busy. We were going to do one earlier this week or last weekend, but it just ended up not working out. But maybe we do one tomorrow, next day. Who knows? And then we'll start from there doing smaller ones.
Right. So let's plug them. Where can they find us at?
Oh, yeah. So you definitely want to check our Instagram out. It's at MMA _Marks, MARKS.
Ooh, somebody can't spell.
Well, I'm not looking at it right now, so it's
You
just...
have to look at it to spell Marks?
Well, I was
Get
just...
the fuck out of here.
I was thinking of Mark Goddard. And he spells it with a C.
The hatred runs so deep with you.
Well, Mark is spelled... It's like one of the last things I wrote on my paper, so I looked down and seen that. Whatever. It doesn't matter, guys. It's at MMA _MARKS.
There we go.
And we like to... it's mainly me controlling it, but I get Ricky involved. But we like to go back and forth with people, comment on our, and DM us, and I'll post stories of our back and forth if you want, and you could do the fight picks with us. We got all kinds of stuff that we like to do outside of the podcast that involves MMA, and I definitely want to see more people involved. If you even have any interest in doing it, just follow us and send us a DM.
That's right, man. And you can find us also on Facebook at MMA Marks, and you can find us on YouTube at MMA Marks. And
well, you don't even got to type in the @ You just type in MMA Marks.
Right.
Even in Google, will probably pop up our YouTube or something.
Yeah, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Anchor, as always, and wherever you get your podcast, man.
Yeah.
So I'm Ricky.
I'm Buddy.
We're out of here, man. See ya.